Welcome to Secret Societies podcast. I'm your host, Ben Carter. In the dimly lit chambers of the hallowed Skull and Bones Society at Yale University, an intricate carving of a double helix spirals down the center of an ancient oak table, a symbol that seems out of place among the Society's typical iconography of skulls, crossbones, and number 322. This double helix, the very blueprint of life itself, is the symbol of DNA, the essence of genetic engineering. What does this symbol signify in the clandestine world of a secret society infamous for its influence on global power structures? One theory suggests that the Skull and Bones, a society known to count numerous influential scientists, politicians, and business magnates among its members, may be exerting its influence over the direction of genetic engineering projects. It's a chilling thought to consider that the course of scientific progression in the field of genetics, a science with the potential to reshape the very fabric of human existence, could be swayed by the unseen hands of a secret society. Consider the case of the Human Genome Project, a monumental international scientific research project with the goal of determining the sequence of nucleotide base pairs that make up human DNA. At its helm was James D. Watson, a Nobel laureate and, as some claim, a member of the Skull and Bones. Watson's leadership of the project was marked by controversy, and he eventually stepped down amidst allegations of promoting eugenics, a field of study that has been historically associated with attempts to manipulate human genetics for nefarious purposes. And then there's the case of the controversial CRISPR technology, a revolutionary tool that allows scientists to edit genomes with unprecedented precision and ease. One of its pioneers, Jennifer Doudna, while not directly linked to any secret societies, has been connected with organizations and individuals known for their association with such societies. Coincidence or a more sinister connection? The connection between secret societies and genetic engineering may sound like the stuff of conspiracy theories, but the influence of such societies on human history cannot be discounted. From the Freemasons, said to have been instrumental in the founding of America, to the Illuminati, alleged to be puppeteers of global events, secret societies have often been at the intersection of power and knowledge. Perhaps this double helix carved into the table of the Skull and Bones Society is merely symbolic, a testament to human curiosity and the pursuit of knowledge. Or perhaps it signifies something more ominous, a quiet declaration of influence and control over the manipulation of life itself. As we delve deeper into the shadowy world of secret societies and their potential influence on genetic engineering, we must tread with caution. The implications are far-reaching, and the truth, as they say, may be stranger than fiction. The line between science and conspiracy blurs, and we find ourselves in a labyrinth of power, silence, and secrets. Whether these societies are truly manipulating genetic engineering projects remains to be discovered, but the symbols, the connections, the coincidences, they all point to a mystery that demands investigation. The engraved double helix in the Skull and Bones chamber silently challenges us to question, to uncover, to expose. It is a story waiting to be told, a riddle yearning to be solved. And so the investigation continues, in the quest for truth amidst the shadows. In the annals of history, the Skull and Bones Society stands as a deeply enigmatic entity, shrouded in an almost impenetrable fog of mystery and intrigue. Founded in 1832 at Yale University, its members, known as Bonesmen, include some of the most influential figures in American history. Presidents, Supreme Court justices, and numerous titans of industry have been rumored to be aligned with this secret society. The society's lore and practices are guarded with an intensity that incites both fascination and unease. The historical context of the Skull and Bones Society is crucial to understanding its potential role in molding the course of genetic engineering. Its birth was nestled within a period of American history marked by tremendous change and upheaval. The 1830s were a time of heated political discourse, rapid industrialization, and sweeping social transformations. As the fledgling nation grappled with its identity, there was a growing need for unity and order, a need that secret societies like Skull and Bones were believed to fulfill. The society's structure is steeped in secrecy and ritual. New members are selected through a process known as tapping, where potential initiates are identified and invited to join. The society's insignia, a skull and crossbones, has become a universal symbol associated with danger and death, further enhancing its enigmatic reputation. Its members are sworn to secrecy, and its activities are conducted behind the closed doors of the Tomb, an austere, windowless building in New Haven, Connecticut. The secrecy surrounding Skull and Bones may not just be a matter of tradition, but of necessity. For a society boasting members who wield significant power and influence, maintaining confidentiality is paramount. It allows for the free exchange of ideas, the cultivation of alliances, and the preservation of influence in a world increasingly driven by public scrutiny. Their secrecy, coupled with their potential influence on major world events, has sparked numerous theories about their activities. Some believe they manipulate global affairs from behind the scenes, pulling the strings of power and shaping the world according to their desires. Others speculate their influence extends beyond politics and economics, reaching into the realm of scientific advancements, including genetic engineering. The double helix symbol found within the society's chambers could be mere coincidence, a nod to the scientific curiosity of its members. However, when placed within the context of the society's history and its provenance during a time of immense scientific discovery, it raises questions about the extent of the society's interest and involvement in the field of genetics. Could the society be subtly signaling its influence over this area of scientific endeavor? The answer to this question is hidden within the silent walls of the Skull and Bones Society, buried beneath layers of secrecy and power. One thing is certain. The Skull and Bones Society, since its inception, has been a force of significant influence and mystery. Its connection with genetic engineering, while unproven, remains an intriguing possibility. In the quest for truth, every stone must be unturned, every shadow explored. Only then can the full picture emerge from the obscurity. This journey into the heart of secret societies and their potential manipulation of genetic engineering projects is just beginning. The path may be murky, the answers elusive, but the search for truth continues unabated. At the core of the Skull and Bones lies a constellation of influential figures, some of whom have played pivotal roles in shaping the course of world history. Names like William H. Taft, the 27th President of the United States, and Walter Camp, the father of American football, are but a few of the luminaries that have emerged from the society's ranks. This array of power and influence extends into various sectors, including politics, business, academia, and perhaps most intriguingly, science. The Society's founding members were notably William Huntington Russell and Alphonso Taft, both of whom were prominent figures in their respective fields. Russell came from a family deeply rooted in the American economic landscape, with connections to opium trade, while Taft was a prominent politician who later served as the Secretary of War and the Attorney General of the United States. The Society was built on the principles of secrecy, loyalty, and power, which are still upheld by its current members. The rituals and initiations of the Skull and Bones are shrouded in mystery, but leaked accounts over the years suggest that they are designed to foster a deep bond among its members. According to these accounts, prospective members are subjected to a series of psychologically intense initiation rites that may involve grueling tests of endurance and resolve. These rituals are believed to be a crucible for shaping the future leaders of society, instilling in them a shared sense of purpose and a bond that transcends traditional societal boundaries. The Society is also known to possess a collection of sacred texts and documents. These texts, reportedly housed within the Society's tomb, are believed to contain the Society's guiding principles and the blueprint for its activities. Although their contents remain a closely guarded secret, they are suspected to contain information that could offer insights into the Society's influence over various sectors, including genetic engineering. The Society's goals, while not explicitly stated, are thought to be intertwined with the preservation and expansion of power. The Society is believed to function as a network of influence, providing its members with opportunities and resources that are otherwise inaccessible. This network of influence purportedly extends into the realm of scientific research, giving the society a potential hand in steering the direction of genetic engineering projects. The inner workings of the Skull and Bones Society are as mysterious as they are intriguing. The society operates under a strict code of silence, making it difficult to ascertain the full extent of its activities. However, the society's notable members, its rituals, and its suspected involvement in genetic engineering projects provide tantalizing clues. Piecing these clues together, one begins to see a picture of a society deeply entwined with power and influence, potentially manipulating the course of science and history from behind the scenes. At the heart of this conspiracy is the fear that secret societies like Skull and Bones are manipulating the genetic engineering landscape for their own hidden agendas. This theory posits that these groups are leveraging their power and influence to control the direction of genetic research, potentially shaping the future of humanity in ways that serve their interests. This concern is not baseless. The history of secret societies is rife with instances where they have manipulated governments, economies, and culture to further their goals. The Freemasons, for example, have been accused of having a hand in the American and French revolutions. The Illuminati, another secret society, has been linked to theories of global domination and control of the world's financial system. The Skull and Bones, likewise, has been implicated in numerous conspiracy theories due to the high-ranking positions held by many of its members in politics, finance, and academia. The society's vast network and the secrecy surrounding its activities provide fertile ground for speculations of clandestine operations, including those in the realm of genetic engineering. The fear is that these societies could wield genetic engineering as a tool for control. By influencing the direction of research, they could potentially engineer specific traits in the human population, such as enhanced intelligence or physical capabilities, or even susceptibility to certain diseases or stimuli. This would enable them to create a society tailored to their specifications, one in which they retain the upper hand. Moreover, genetic engineering projects require significant funding, and it is here that the financial clout of these societies could come into play. By channeling resources into specific projects that align with their goals, they could effectively steer the course of genetic research. This theory is further bolstered by the fact that many major scientific breakthroughs have often been backed by influential and wealthy patrons. Religion, too, is not exempt from this manipulation. The ethical and moral dilemmas posed by genetic engineering are profound, and religious institutions play a significant role in shaping public opinion on these issues. The influence of secret societies within these institutions could potentially sway religious doctrine in ways that favor their objectives. Cultural manipulation is another facet of this theory. By controlling the narrative surrounding genetic engineering through the media, education, and popular culture, these societies can shape public perception and acceptance of genetic manipulation. This theory paints a chilling picture of a world controlled by an elite few, manipulating not just our present, but our future and our very genes. It suggests a secret orchestration of genetic engineering projects by these societies, all toward an uncertain end that serves their interests. The very fabric of what makes us human could be at the mercy of these shadowy figures, operating behind a veil of secrecy and power. The implications of this theory, if true, are both profound and unsettling, highlighting the importance of transparency and ethical oversight in scientific research. Tracing the footprints of such clandestine operations is a task shrouded in uncertainty and conjecture. The proof, if any, lies in coded clues, symbols, and the odd, inexplicable event. The architecture of some buildings, for example, is believed to bear the mark of these secret societies. Structures such as the Denver International Airport have long been the subject of conspiracy theories due to their unusual designs and artworks that appear to allude to a new world order or genetic manipulation. Many documents, too, are said to contain hidden messages. Patents filed for genetic modifications and advancements, for instance, are often scrutinized for cryptic signatures or unusual wording that could indicate a society's influence. While this is by no means conclusive proof, the persistence of such claims lends weight to the theory. Numerology, a belief in the divine or mystical significance of numbers, is another area of interest. Some believe that secret societies use specific numbers or sequences as a form of coded communication. For instance, the number 33, a number of significant importance in the Freemasonry, has been associated with many breakthroughs in genetic research, appearing peculiarly often in the relevant documentation and reports. Hand gestures, too, are considered a form of coded communication among these secret societies. Certain gestures, such as the hidden hand, are believed to be a secret sign among members of these societies. Some have suggested that individuals making similar gestures in photographs or videos related to genetic engineering projects could indicate their affiliation with these organizations. Mysterious events, such as unexplained funding surges for certain projects or sudden breakthroughs in research, have also piqued interest. These incidents, while often attributed to luck or talent, could potentially be indicative of secret society involvement. The trail, however, is far from clear. Much of the evidence remains buried in conjecture and supposition, shrouded in the very secrecy these societies are known for. Even the clues that have surfaced are open to interpretation and often lack definitive proof. Yet, the shadowy nature of these societies means that definitive proof might never be found. Instead, we are left with a patchwork of clues and theories that, while compelling, are difficult to verify. It is a testament to the clandestine nature of these societies and the lengths they may go to keep their operations hidden. This exploration, however, is crucial. Each clue, each symbol, each coded message adds another piece to the puzzle, another layer to our understanding of these societies and their potential influence. The quest for truth is never easy, but it is essential, especially when the stakes are as high as the very blueprint of humanity. In the face of these compelling theories and enigmatic clues, how have the mainstream media, academic institutions, and official channels reacted? One might expect a fervor of investigative zeal, a relentless pursuit of truth in the face of such profound implications. But instead, a pattern of suppression, denial, and counter-narratives emerges that is as intriguing as it is disconcerting. Mainstream media, often referred to as the Fourth Estate, has traditionally played a crucial role in shaping public opinion and uncovering hidden truths. However, when it comes to allegations of secret societies manipulating genetic engineering projects, media coverage has been surprisingly scant. Stories that do emerge are often dismissed as conspiracy theories or coincidences, effectively downplaying their potential significance. This lack of substantive coverage could be attributed to a number of factors. Perhaps the clues are too obscure, the connections too tenuous, to warrant serious journalistic investigation. Or perhaps the media, like the public, is simply unaware of the potential implications. But some argue that this lack of coverage is not due to ignorance or oversight, but a deliberate effort to suppress information and maintain the status quo. Academic institutions, too, have largely dismissed these claims. Universities and research institutions, the very cradles of scientific inquiry, have largely chosen to ignore the whispers of secret society influence. Studies that have attempted to explore these connections are often relegated to the fringes of academia, their findings marginalized and their credibility questioned. This skepticism is not entirely unwarranted. After all, the academic world thrives on evidence, on the rigorous scrutiny of claims and theories. And as we've seen, much of the evidence surrounding secret society influence is circumstantial at best. But some claim that this dismissal goes beyond healthy skepticism. They argue that it's part of a concerted effort to suppress inquiry, to maintain the sanctity of the scientific process in the face of potentially disturbing revelations. Official channels, too, have been surprisingly silent on the matter. Governments and regulatory bodies, tasked with overseeing the ethical and practical aspects of genetic research, have largely failed to address allegations of secret society influence. When confronted with these claims, the response is usually one of dismissal or outright denial, with official statements often emphasizing the rigorous oversight and transparency of genetic research. This pattern of suppression, denial, and counter-narratives paints a troubling picture. It raises questions about the extent of the influence exerted by these secret societies, about the very nature of the institutions we trust to safeguard our interests. It suggests a coordinated effort to downplay or deny the existence of these societies and their potential influence on genetic engineering projects. Yet, as with all things related to secret societies, the truth remains elusive, shrouded in a fog of secrecy and speculation. The lack of definitive proof, the rampant skepticism, the widespread dismissal of these theories, all these factors contribute to a narrative that is as complex as it is compelling. And as we delve deeper into this intricate web, one thing becomes increasingly clear. The search for truth is a journey fraught with challenges, a quest that demands tenacity, discernment, and above all, an unyielding commitment to uncovering the truth, no matter how uncomfortable it may be. The belief systems and philosophies of these secret societies play a crucial role in understanding their objectives and rituals, as well as their perspective on humanity. These societies often harbor esoteric teachings and metaphysical beliefs that can seem incomprehensible to outsiders, but they provide an essential framework for their members. For instance, some groups are believed to follow a form of Hermetic philosophy, a blend of Gnostic Christianity, paganism, and early scientific thought, dating back to ancient Egypt. This esoteric tradition posits that humans are capable of becoming divine through knowledge and personal transformation. It's not hard to see how such a belief could align with an interest in genetic engineering, which has the potential to dramatically alter human capabilities and lifespan. Other societies are said to subscribe to forms of spiritualism or mysticism that emphasize a hidden spiritual reality underlying the physical world. They believe in the existence of a universal life force or energy that can be harnessed or manipulated to effect changes in the physical world. This idea echoes in the concept of bioenergy, a supposed vital force that some proponents of unconventional science claim can be detected and influenced through genetic manipulation. Then we have those societies that draw on Eastern philosophies, such as reincarnation or the concept of karma. Proponents of these beliefs might see genetic manipulation as a tool for spiritual evolution, a way to transcend the limitations of the physical body and achieve a higher state of consciousness. These spiritual beliefs and philosophies are not just abstract ideas for these societies, they often play a central role in their rituals and practices. Certain secret societies have been rumored to perform complex ceremonies, shrouded in symbolism, aimed at enhancing their members' spiritual development or physical prowess. And if these societies indeed have a hand in genetic engineering projects, it's reasonable to speculate that these rituals could involve elements of bioengineering or genetic manipulation. The concept of humanity within these secret societies often differs significantly from mainstream views. Many such societies regard humans not as static beings, but as entities capable of substantial evolution, both physical and spiritual. They may see genetic engineering as a tool in this evolutionary process, a means to shape humanity's future, perhaps in their image or according to their ideals. The spiritual and philosophical dimensions of these societies provide a foundation for understanding their potential interest in genetic engineering. The belief in human divinity, spiritual evolution, or the manipulation of bioenergy could all serve to rationalize an involvement in this controversial scientific field. This, of course, only deepens the intrigue and raises further questions about the extent of their influence and their ultimate objectives. Peering through the haze of speculative theories, let's examine the extent to which these secret societies might be exerting their influence in the modern world. Their fingerprints, critics claim, can be found smeared across various institutions: politics, corporations, pop culture, religion, and global governance. In the realm of politics, allegations of secret society involvement are nothing new. From high-ranking government officials being linked to Freemasonry to the infamous Illuminati conspiracy theories, the narrative of hidden power brokers pulling strings behind the scenes has been resilient. If these societies indeed harbor an interest in genetic engineering, their political influence could provide them with a platform to drive policy in favor of their objectives, subtly shaping the course of scientific research and development. On the corporate front, It's no secret that many of the world's largest and most influential corporations are involved in genetic engineering, from pharmaceutical giants to tech titans. Critics argue that secret societies could infiltrate these corporations, using them as fronts to advance their agendas. Given the immense resources and power wielded by these corporations, they could potentially fund and facilitate substantial advancements in genetic engineering. Pop culture, too, may not be immune to the influence of these societies. From Dan Brown's novels to blockbuster films, secret societies have become a staple of popular media. By shaping narratives and public attitudes through entertainment, these societies could subtly promote their views on genetic engineering, gradually normalizing the concept and making it more palatable to the public. The world of religion also provides fertile ground for these societies. Many, as we've discussed, draw heavily on religious and spiritual beliefs. By infusing their philosophies into religious institutions, they could potentially shape religious teachings to support their outlook on genetic engineering, integrating it into a broader spiritual context. Finally, in the arena of global governance, organizations like the United Nations, World Bank, and World Health Organization wield significant influence over international policy and development. These platforms could, in theory, be exploited by secret societies to drive global consensus around genetic engineering, setting the stage for its widespread acceptance and implementation. The extent of the influence exerted by these secret societies is, of course, speculative. However, the possibility of their involvement in shaping the narrative, policy, and practice around genetic engineering is a thought-provoking notion. If true, it underscores the complex interplay between science and society, the visible and the invisible, the known and the unknown. As we delve deeper into the realm of genetic engineering, we may find unexpected actors influencing its course, playing out a grand drama of power, secrecy, and the human future. As we journey further into the fringe, let's consider the more radical theories surrounding secret societies and genetic engineering. These conjectures are controversial and often dismissed as conspiracy theories, yet they continue to circulate, casting a long shadow on the world of genetic manipulation. One of the most provocative theories involves the notion of bloodline control. This hypothesis posits that select families or lineages, often linked to royalty or historical figures, maintain a tight grip on global power structures. These bloodlines, it is argued, may be using genetic engineering to preserve their genetic superiority or longevity. This could range from enhancing physical or intellectual capacities to creating genetically tailored treatments for diseases that typically afflict their lineages. Another theory suggests a connection between secret societies and the world of occultism or black magic. Though these societies often present themselves as philosophical or philanthropic organizations, some believe they engage in arcane rituals for power or enlightenment. Could they be using genetic engineering to create metaphysical changes or enhancements? The prospects seem far-fetched, yet they continue to fascinate and unsettle. Then there's the theory of extraterrestrial influence. Some postulate that secret societies are not just earthly entities, but are in contact with advanced alien civilizations. They argue that these societies are custodians of alien technologies, including superior genetic engineering methods. In this scenario, secret societies could be the intermediaries, slowly introducing humanity to these advanced genetic technologies. Lastly, we have the transhumanist theory. Transhumanism is the belief in using science and technology to transcend human limitations, and secret societies are frequently linked to such aspirations. Genetic engineering could be a tool in this endeavor, used to upgrade human capabilities or even fuse humans with machines. Some go further to suggest that these societies are not just influencing but actively leading the transhumanist movement. Their goal? A new era of post-humanity, where the biological and the artificial are intrinsically intertwined. While these theories may be unsettling, they underscore the profound implications of genetic engineering. If secret societies do exert influence on this technology, it could radically reshape our understanding of humanity, power, and the future. As we conclude our exploration in the next segment, we'll consider the ethical implications of these possibilities. Remember, the purpose of this inquiry is not to validate these theories, but to encourage critical thinking and open dialogue about the potential impacts and influences of genetic engineering. In this grand narrative of genetic engineering and secret societies, we find ourselves standing at the crossroads of knowledge and speculation. The shadows of secrecy are deep and wide, leaving us with more questions than answers. The evidence, often circumstantial and anecdotal, has a tendency to slip through the fingers like sand, making it difficult to form a concrete conclusion. It's important to remember that even in the absence of definitive proof, the persistence of these theories, the whisperings of secret societies meddling in genetic engineering, tells us something about the world we live in. It reflects our collective anxieties about the rapid advancement of technology, the concentration of power, and the potential for misuse of such groundbreaking science. The secrecy and exclusivity of these societies only fuel these suspicions. Their penchant for operating behind closed doors, away from public scrutiny, naturally invites speculation. The lack of transparency, coupled with the high stakes of genetic engineering, continues to keep these theories alive. In the quest for answers, it's crucial to consider the broader implications. If these societies do indeed manipulate genetic engineering projects, what does it mean for the future of humanity? What ethical boundaries are we willing to cross in the name of progress? And who gets to make these decisions? But what if the influence of secret societies is even more pervasive? What if they aren't just manipulating specific genetic engineering projects, but are shaping the narrative around this technology? They could be subtly steering public opinion, influencing policy, or even controlling the flow of information. In this way, they could be molding the very fabric of our society from the shadows. These unanswered questions serve as a reminder of the importance of skepticism and critical thinking. The world is a complex place, filled with overlapping narratives and hidden power structures. It's easy to accept the stories we're told at face value, but we must remember to question them, to probe deeper, and to consider who might benefit from these narratives. Are secret societies manipulating genetic engineering? We may never know the full truth, but the very possibility urges us to be vigilant, to question, and to seek transparency in all areas of scientific advancement. The power of genetic engineering, the ability to alter the very blueprint of life, demands nothing less. In the end, the stories we tell about secret societies and genetic engineering are just that, stories. They are a mirror, reflecting our hopes, fears, and uncertainties about the future. And perhaps, in seeking to understand these stories, we can better understand ourselves. So we invite you, dear listener, to continue questioning, to continue seeking. The world is not always as it appears. Remember, behind every story, there may be another story, hidden in the shadows, waiting to be told. Thanks for listening. This has been another episode of Secret Societies Podcast. If you enjoyed today's episode, be sure to follow us wherever you listen to podcasts. And if you'd like to support the show, subscribe to the Forbidden Knowledge Network on Patreon. Subscribe now.